Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. So today I wanted to kind of jump back into what I was talking about in a different episode called being a soul pleaser. I started talking about it and I said, oh, that's for another episode. So here we are. It is spaced out a little bit, but because of my recording schedule and things, I'm recording it the same day, but it's spaced out in the schedule. Anyways, I was talking about how I was always wanting to make other people happy. And I have a few people in my life that I always thought I needed to make them happy. And anything and everything I did wasn't good enough, or it didn't seem good enough. And like no matter what, and I literally burnt myself out bending over backwards to make these people happy. I'm not going to go into details who they are in my life, but they're there. Just because, anyway. So for the longest time, like I would spend like over a week cleaning my house before they would visit. And I just did so much. I would go and get all these special things for them and, just gathering things and doing things. And finally last year, I realized this isn't helpful for either party, for myself or for this person, or for people in general that I've been doing this for, because then when they come visit, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, I'm not at my best. So this past year, I did something different. I accepted what was. I'm like, I realized that I can't make others happy, and I accepted that. I was like, okay, regardless of what I've done in the past, it wasn't good enough. So it wasn't about like, why bother? Like just throw caution in the wind. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on me this time. I'm going to focus on what I can control and what I can do. I asked my husband to do a few things, and things like that to manage like things as well. So it wasn't all on me. But for the most part, I did nothing. Honestly, our house wasn't even dusted when they visited this time. I didn't have time. It was the summer. I was having fun. Oh, well, right? Like I just was focused more on taking care of my own needs. And you want to know something? This visit was so much better than any other visit because I wasn't burnt out. I wasn't exhausted. I was just being. I set no expectations. Which is like, I'm just going to be, whatever happens, happens. It was because I accepted. I accepted what was and what I can control. When we stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right at this moment, we open up space for really cool things to happen. Because things happen as they should be. Like, not even should, as they could be. Right? Like, I didn't control. I didn't force. I didn't try to make others happy. Because again, I'm the only one I can make happy. I can be there for my kids. I can be there for my husband. I can support friends and family. But I can't make them happy. I can give my kid a hug when they're having a bad day. And I can share motivational things. But in the end, I got to give them the tools to find their inner happy, their inner being again. But they got to do that work. Everybody does. So when I accepted that I can't control somebody else's happiness, that I can't just make it happen, I opened up a world of new amazing possibilities. And I was not stressed in the process. I did my yoga practice, meditating. I was just like, the summer is supposed to be a fun, chill time anyways. So I really leaned in on that. And my kids and I were busy anyways. Like I said, didn't have the house dusted. And it used to worry me and be like, oh no, what are they going to think? And instead, I was just like, you know what? I just didn't have time for that today. Like, it's not happening. Just not happening. Like I even told my husband, I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. The house did not get dusted. Such is life. Yeah. We made sure that the guest room and things were taken care of, obviously. But, the main things. But for the most part, I gave those responsibilities to my husband this time. And it just felt really, really good. See, I pride myself on really being a good host. I love making people feel at home. And at the same time, like I just was so done with this where I couldn't make this person happy in our home. So I just realized that I needed to switch my perspective, like change it up and just accept what I could control and what I could do with my life. So if you're finding that maybe you're controlling a situation or just something keeps, showing up in your life and you're just like, what's going on? Or you're trying to make somebody else happy and like you literally are burning yourself out or wearing yourself down or heck man, stressing yourself out. Take a breath. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, is it actually helping them or you? Or do you need to take a step back and do something for you? Because a lot of the time we can get lost in this world of helping others or trying to make other people happy. Or we have this idea of what something should be like. I had to drop all my expectations of this visit. In fact, I didn't even think about it till I think the day before. I think I was like, okay, I hope the guest bed's made because here we go. Like I focused on other things that I had control over, like my own happiness. Going to the beach in the summer and actually enjoying it instead of spending the whole week before vacuuming, dusting, mopping, like cleaning top to bottom, the drapes, the windows, everything. Okay, and that might have been a little overkill. I take people's visits so as a way to spring clean, by the way, because I'm not a fan of cleaning. I do it because I love a clean house. But I honestly have other things I'd like to do, like going to the beach and spending time with my kiddos. So anyways, if you're finding yourself where things are feeling hard, like you're forcing, pushing, shoving, trying to have this idea of what should be, just be for a second and figure out if you need to accept what is so you can allow what could be. Because like I said, I had this idea, these expectations, right? And when we have expectations in life, they can keep our world small. So when we think, oh, it should go like this, or, oh man, I want to go like this, and you play it all out in your head before it even happens, you're not allowing room or space for the magical miracles of life to just unfold as is. And it's allowing that space. So it's accepting what is so you can allow what could be. And it can be really hard to let go of expectations or ideas of how things should be. But when we can just accept how things are in this moment, it's really beautiful. Like, I think I mentioned this before. It's like even with health things, like when your body is, maybe it's holding on to extra weight that you don't want. Or like for me, I'm healing my gut. It's accepting what is so you can allow space for something new to unfold in your life. Because when we're like, we're either ignoring it or we're trying to push it in a different direction or force it, it's really a lot of work. But when we accept and allow, then things can flow much, much easier. I hope this has helped. I hope, it's just one more thing. It's taking time to really check into if you have unrealistic expectations. Whew, my tongue did not want to say that one today. It's checking in to see if your expectations are just too high too. Like the expectations on myself that I had. Like I said, I love being a host. I love people to feel good. When my sister comes to visit, I put little special touches down in the guest room. So it's just, but that's who I am. Now, honestly, before she came this past year, I didn't have time to do spring cleaning before. So I bought some lavender things to make the room smell good, just in general, because I wanted to spruce it up without deep diving into spring cleaning. But it was like finding a fun combo. But I want when people visit, I want them to feel at home. I want them to feel comfortable. Anyway, but it's also having unrealistic expectations as well, where I'm like, I can't make people happy. Like, I can do the work on making things cozy and warm, but that doesn't mean they'll feel cozy and warm. So it's doing what I can for who I can, and then kind of accepting what is and allowing the rest to flow. But honestly, kind of like letting go of the wheel this past summer, really, really, like the stress that I would have stress for a week or two, maybe even a month before. And it was overwhelming. And it was not good for my body, my mind, or just my being in general, my soul, nothing. And not to mention my kids and my husband. But when I just allowed things to unfold as they will, like life is unfolding. Like, it's not that I didn't do anything, but I just did like little things. I didn't try to control. I didn't try to over plan. I just allowed. I allowed things to be. And it turned out to be a really beautiful, stress-free time. And in fact, I think my husband was a little bit more stressed than I was. So yay me for finally accepting what was and letting it be. Because we can't control how other people feel. We can't make other people happy. And it's about accepting where we're at personally, like ourselves too, right? Acceptance is accepting where we are too, to allow for life to unfold. Things happen in our lives that are out without we can't control, right? So it's accepting that and finding a way to move through that and learn from it and grow and change and all that beautiful stuff. But it all first comes down to accepting what is, so you can allow what can be. Because we don't know what's out there for planning. Coming from a serious planner, like, I love planning. I'm a huge planner. But I've learned over the time that I can plan to my heart's content. I can plan up the wazoo. I could plan a whole year out. Be like, this is what I want. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen. And I've learned quite some time now, like, especially being a parent, you have to roll with the waves, because they come in and they go out, and some are big and some are small. And it's allowing the flow of life to move through your life, like just like allowing the waves to flow. And it's having plans and it's having goals, but it's having room and the flexibility to pivot and curve along with them. So it's having a plan, but being open and flexible enough to make a change. And I used to never be able to change plans. Like, I would be so rigid in my planning. But like I said, after kids and even before that, learning that life is flowing. It's not a straight line. It's not from point A to point B. There's many curves and it's flowing. It's constantly moving and changing. So it's accepting what's in front of us and then riding that wave to where we want to go. Again, it doesn't mean that we, put blinders on or we stick our head in the sand. We have an idea. We look at our inner compass of what we'd like, and then we allow things to unfold. No pushing, no shoving, just allowing what can be. I hope this has helped. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you. And if you think that anybody else would like to hear this, please share the love. And you can find more resources on my website at jodymisiak.com. And they're free. So check them out if you want to dive deeper into the world of self-love and creating a deeper, loving relationship with yourself. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye for now.